Hello, and welcome to Weed and Grub.
Have you heard of garbage plates?
Garbage plates?
Yeah.
Well, I know a fridge bowl, which I think I am infamous for at this point. But
Yeah.
I've never heard of a garbage plate.
Oh, and there was the thing that you've told me about on here where you used to get it maybe in high school where it was like the whole thing with the chicken wing in the middle.
Oh,
What was that
a
called?
garbage
Like a treasure chest or something?
a treasure chest had a chicken wing hidden underneath all the breakfast fixins.
Okay.
God damn, what was that thing called at Southeast Missouri State?
Why does the word sling come into my head?
Yes, slinger.
It was a slinger.
It was a slinger. So
Okay.
the slinger, before we get to garbage plate, which I don't know.
Well,
a
it's all
slinger-
related.
It is all related.
Yeah.
Because a slinger is hash browns, eggs, sausage, bacon, and if it's a treasure chest, there's a chicken wing hidden underneath all there. 2 biscuits, gravy, all covered in cheddar cheese in a huge 5-pound styrofoam container with 1 plastic fork at 2 a.m, ideally.
I like that it's time contingent too.
Who's having 11 a.m. slingers?
I don't know. Yeah, I might.
Unless
but
you
I feel
binged
you.
all night.
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm asking about garbage plates because I read this piece on Grub Street about how there's a new restaurant called Brooklyn Hots that's opened up in New York, and everyone's super fucking excited about it. And their specialty is garbage plates.
Oh.
And it's described as, so it says garbage plates started in Rochester at a place called Nick Tahou's that served truck drivers. And a proper garbage plate consists of a protein, which is traditionally either a hamburger or hot dog, hash browns, mac salad, or pasta of some sort, and then meat sauce slathered over the whole thing. And I guess everywhere in Rochester, like all the diners in Rochester serve these garbage plates and they're fucking famous. And now there's a restaurant in Brooklyn that's serving garbage plates. And I was like, we got to go.
We have to go.
We got to go check it out.
Okay, so wait, weed is legal in New York and they have garbage plates?
That's right.
Say less. Mark, you were nodding. Have you heard of this before?
Yeah.
Your family's from Rochester.
Garbage plates. I'm so fucking glad you're here to confirm that. That's fucking dope.
A meat sauce to me means gravy. Are you also thinking gravy?
A meat sauce, I would think like a
Or
yeah, no, like I think not a gravy. What am I thinking of in my head? I'm thinking like a pasta meat sauce, like a red sauce with meat in it.
Yum.
You know, like it's so funny to think of like the stuff that you grow up with that your mom cooks for you, and then when you get out into the world as an adult and you're like, oh, this is not at all not reflective of the real world. Like my mom used to make such crazy stuff. And I grew up thinking that pasta was just like spaghetti with ground beef sauteed in a pan and like a jar of sauce dumped into that and then served over and never mixed in or anything.
Absolutely not.
Bare noodles slapped on a plate.
Did
they
you
were
also
always
have
overcooked.
that beautiful pool of like ketchup water pooling in the bottom of the spaghetti?
Totally.
Yeah, that's how you knew it was homemade, right? When you had to like drain it from
Totally.
your own bowl.
Mom's best. And she was doing her best. Like I don't want to dunk on my mom too much, but like she didn't cook growing up. Her mom was a single mom. She raised her in the 40s and 50s as a single mother, and so she was like sent to boarding school and stuff. So she never had the opportunity to learn how to cook at home. And then I guess my dad, when they got married, he literally gave her a cookbook on their honeymoon.
Oh
which
my.
is such a fucking dude move
Yeah.
in the 60s. But I think he meant well. And anyway, so she was doing her best. But she was definitely self-taught. I don't think she had any great like cooks around her that she could model herself after like we do now. I mean, everyone has like food videos everywhere. You can just learn from watching shit.
My favorite move growing up because of that same spaghetti situation is to take so much shaky Parmesan cheese that it almost absorbs the entire thing until you have this like cake-like spaghetti batter of tomato sauce and parm, and every noodle is just coated to the point where you may as well like cinnamon. You remember the cinnamon challenge where you like cough cinnamon? Like that, it was like that with Parmesan cheese because it soaked in all of that and you're just eating a bowl of Parmesan noodles. It was the best.
It's so nostalgic for me just thinking about, like that was like a good homemade dinner, and then dessert was always coffee Haagen-Dazs. Like that was like the big thing that we had in our house, and was
Well, this is the perfect beginning to an episode with a baker comedian like Lindsay. So what up, Mary Jane?
How's it going, Mike?
I'm starving.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm excited about the spread that we've got that we can snack on to stop being starving.
Perfect. Well, welcome to Weed and Grub, everyone. This is a podcast about comedy,
Cannabis,
culture,
cooking,
calling shit out,
and fucking baking
baking,
and being funny.
And being baked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fucking great hang with Lindsay. I'm so excited for everyone to listen in. I don't know. I'm feeling good.
Good. Can I do a quick unboxing?
Oh, what? Yes, I forgot.
Yeah.
That's so fun. This is like I think the first time we've done this on here with our YouTube channel. Please go check out our videos of the podcast on YouTube and you can look at us.
I was really excited that Quinn wanted to send us a box because it's a legal box that you can get through the legal mail of really fun things.
It's in a USPS box. That's so fucking true.
Oh my God. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
To talk about Quinn and the idea that like in this box legally
Yep.
through the USPS is like some delicious products.
I will say,
that's
and
neat.
This is not advice to anyone or a tip, but at times when I mailed myself things, like I'd visit a legal state and I lived in New York, I would send myself packages of things. And I learned to only do it through USPS and never through UPS or FedEx because those two companies are privately owned. And they can open any package. But USPS, actually, because it's a federal property, there's a difference in who can open your mail. Like, I think they might have to get a warrant for it.
Fuck yeah.
Not advice, though. I'm not giving anyone advice.
Just some knowledge.
I'm just saying.
What's wrong with some knowledge?
I'm just saying I used to go to USPS back in the day.
Well, I'm going to crack this Quinn open. Do you mind?
Oh, shit. So
wait, I can't wait. I'm sorry. But our guest today, look at what Quinn just sent.
Oh, shit. Let me see. Dark
Cookies,
chocolate cappuccino with Delta 9. So the cool thing about this is that the reason they're able to send it through the mail, and it is legal to ship to all 50 states, is that it's an alt cannabinoid product that is sourced from hemp. And as we all know, you're like juggling boxes over there. As we all know, because of the 2018 Farm Bill, hemp is now legal. And so they're sourcing Delta 9 THC from hemp, which means, I believe that
I just got like cookies. I got edibles through the legal mail.
Yeah.
Through Quinn, orange pistachio, coconut dragon fruit, peanut butter marshmallow. What's your flavor?
Dark chocolate cappuccino. I'm over here just talking about the fucking bullshit, and you're like, let's get to the flavors. Come on. Let's talk about the fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like go to myquinn.com. Use code WeedandGrub for 25% off. Get yourself some coconut dragon fruit edibles legally through the mail.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
And the way they do it is, I gotta say, it's really cool. I did learn about this. Basically, it's by weight, so they're able to extract, even though the hemp that it's being sourced from is 0.3% THC, they're able to then source Delta 9 THC from that 0.3%, or that is the 0.3% that they're actually then able to like sort of amplify it in these edible. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. There is science behind it. Look into it.
We've done it on the other pods.
Yes.
Let's be honest. We've recorded for 5 hours today.
We've recorded for 5 hours straight.
We also, I'm just going to put it out there, we microdosed today.
We took mushrooms.
We took mushrooms today. And I'm about to eat a cookie from Quinn today.
We're going to eat some Delta 9 cookies.
How much is this? 50?
I'm going to bust this open.
Oh, this is a 50 milligram cookie. All right, I'm just taking a nibble.
That's the thing. It's like fucking potent as hell. I recently had a fucking very funny phone call with a publicist who had eaten a Delta 9 hemp edible and really hadn't expected it to hit. And she was like, I am so sorry that I'm such a wreck, but I am so high from this legal hemp edible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are really good and they're really soft.
Ooh, yes. I've got the dark chocolate cappuccino. That's tasty as fuck.
They're really good.
Like a Mrs. What's the cookie brand? Mrs. Fields?
Doubtfire.
they're like Mrs. Doubtfire cookies. Mm-hmm.
Hello.
That's fucking delicious.
If you eat one of these, you'll feel like you have cream pie all over your face. Thank you, Quinn.
Yeah.
Also, we have another box, but I'm gonna save that for another time. I'm just gonna stick with the cookies for now.
Fuck yes.
That's awesome.
That's
should we
great.
get to the news before these kick in?
Yes. What? Yeah. Quick, Mike, get to the news. I'm driving.
If you're gonna do that, I'm gonna eat more cookies.
Yeah.
Okay, the news this week. Oh,
I'm so excited about this news story.
It's from Marijuana Moment. Welcome to the Grub Gazette. It is feeding cows hemp helps them chill out. Federally funded study says.
I'm sorry, did you just say there was a federally funded study into cows eating weed?
I'm going to cut to the bottom of this article because of that, and then I will talk about the in-depth nature of the article.
Shit people will fucking spend money on at a federal level, but we still don't have universal health care. Sorry, I had to go there.
Of course you have to go there. It's just the fucking truth. I could go get my shoulder looked at, but these cows are like laying down more.
Yeah, like let's look into what these cows are doing.
So K-State, which is a university, Kansas, received 2,200 $200,000 research grant from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to analyze the safety in industrial hemp as cattle feed.
$2,200,000?
$200,000. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Shout out Quinn.
Yeah.
They got a research grant, $200,000 to study hemp as cattle feed.
Wow.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
study suggests that feeding cattle industrial hemp reduces their stress levels and makes them lie down more.
This is federally funded, folks.
Federally funded. The reason this could prove beneficial to ranchers is because relaxed steers tend to be healthier, and by decreased stress levels, their respiratory infections go down. Cattle who are being transported or weaned off their mothers are more chill about it. So basically, hemp rocks, and even cattle like it. I guess I can cut
Federally
to the
funded
chase.
study to tell us what we already fucking know.
So do you
Wow.
want to hear about the study or not?
No, I'm so excited. I just have to keep saying that it was federally funded. It's fantastic.
So the study involved 16 Holstein steers over 2 weeks. There was a control
I
group
can't believe
of
you
8.
just said that without repeating it. 16 Holstein steers?
Yeah.
Great.
16 Holstein steers. 16 Holstein steers.
I mean, you did it flawlessly. I'm so impressed.
Half of them got hemp, half of them didn't. The ones who got the hemp loved it.
Uh-huh.
And
What did the ones who didn't get hemp get? What did they think they were getting?
they
What
just
was
got
the-
regular cattle
What was
feed.
the placebo hemp?
The placebo, yeah, placebo. I can't say that. How funny. You got me. All right, you got me. The team tracked the cattle's movements, monitored their blood for cortisol and a word that's very long, and the control group just chilled,
Wow.
but they were like more stressed. So
This
cattle
is
love
wild.
hemp.
Yeah. I will say years and years ago I visited my boyfriend at the time. His brother lived in Iowa and he had a farm and he had a couple of horses, or not a farm, but like a beautiful piece of property out in farmland. And he had a couple of horses that were eating the hemp that was growing naturally next to the house. There was this like huge fucking forest of hemp. And they were very chill horses, and they always smelled like weed. And it was so like I was like stroking one's nose and like giving it an apple, and I was like, "You smell like weed. That's awesome."
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Dang.
Yeah, that nice grassy smell. So fucking great for those cows. And then I presume, wait, were they dairy cattle or
Yeah.
being raised for meat? Okay.
Well, I think that's the thing. If we're gonna talk about the Midwest where I'm
Right.
from,
Right.
it's meat and corn.
Right.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big fucking deal, and it's a big deal to the rest of the country as well. So if we can have our cattle be more chill, maybe it's healthier to put in our bodies. Maybe
Mhm.
it's healthier all around. Or maybe we should kind of just like stop eating all that meat because
Maybe.
it's destroying the fucking world.
More and
Mark,
more.
before this was talking about, can you I'm going to try and quote you and then correct me, but because of our episode with the Cousteaus,
Yes.
Mark was saying that seaweed actually helps cattle cut down on their methane gas emissions,
Amazing.
which is like,
I don't
pretty
fucking-
fucking cool.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Is that
what you-
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I just like that there's like plant medicine for every being on this earth.
I mean, that's how it should be. We've gotten so far away from it. It's so weird with processed everything, from pharmaceuticals to foods. Like we've moved away from the natural stuff altogether. So let's get back to it, friends.
Yeah. And give me $200,000. Let me see what I can do with that money.
Yeah, like let's federally fund some weed and grub.
What if we're the first federally funded podcast that isn't psyops who are just trying to push this like weird agenda through the CIA?
I mean, listen, if we could get that fucking money to federally fund us to just get into everybody's ears, I'd be in support of that.
I would too.
Mhm.
I'm not a psyop, but I can be bought.
What is a psyop?
Well, like just like motherfuckers who regurgitate the mainstream narrative and they do it from a place of being against the grain, or like anybody who's like a company person who acts like they're not. That to
Yeah.
me is a psyop.
Got it.
know what
and
I'm saying?
is that short for psychological operative or something?
I don't even know.
Okay.
Is that the important part to you? What it
I
stands
need
for?
to know these things. That's how I keep them in my brain. I need to file it away by knowing what it is.
I'm sorry that I got mad at you because I didn't know the answer
But
to
yeah,
something.
dude, Jesus, that's how information works in my head. I have to like trace it back at,
I'm gonna look it up.
where it came from and everything.
I'm with that.
We talk later
Psy-
in this episode about how we found out the real meaning of amateur and how fucking cool that was.
That was
and that's
really
like
cool.
really changed my relationship with some stuff. So
Psychological operative.
thank you. Now I can file it. Have you seen that movie Inside Out?
Inside Out?
Mhm.
Yeah, I loved it.
With the way that your memories are filed in your brain. I think about that all the time. The way that memories are, the way that I store things, because like when I started like hardcore therapy and was talking to my therapist about just PTSD and like what that means and what that looks like in my head. And she really helped me. We talked about this on our episode with Brooke Burkstaller about like filing, thinking of your brain as a library and all that kind of stuff. So I really do sometimes like see a piece of information and I have to actually like see how it's spelled and stuff to be able to properly like to find out where it lives in my brain.
I understand
if that makes sense.
It does, because one of my stand-up tricks that I always do when I'm doing crowd work is I'll ask someone their name and then I'll repeat it and then I'll intentionally spell it wrong so that they spell it correctly back to me. Which can get a laugh, but it's more so for me to like have it be absorbed by my gray matter.
Wow.
So that like, because if I spell it wrong and they hit me with the correct fact, then I'm able to like hear it and like understand it and remember it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have to like make myself wrong for them to be right for me to remember.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first. Not a psyop, but psycho
Wow.
for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
Ah.
We have some buds of the week to get to.
Yes.
We also have a VIB, a very important baker, Lindsay Adams.
Yes.
Do you want to get to buds of the week?
I can get to buds of the week.
Or do you want to keep hanging for a minute?
I love hanging all the time. I mean, you know, there's so much hanging to do. We've just been here doing this for like 5 hours and there's sunshine in the day. So I feel like we should get to it so we can get out. And, you know, I really want to go see Archie. I miss my dog.
Is that what's going on right now? You miss your dog,
sometimes.
Archie?
Yeah.
It was really funny when I picked you up and you gave him that little thing with the peanut butter in it.
A Kong.
And as we walked outside, you looked in the window at him eating it, and you just said, "I love you, Archie." And I knew that that was just as much for him as it was for you. Like that was something that, like, I assume that you do that every time.
I
do. I love that. I think it's important.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a little guy, you know, like he just needs as much love as I can possibly give him. So
how's it going to be? Because we're on the road so much between now and the end of May. You can check out our dates.
That's
on
right.
Our Instagram, 420 and beyond, and
all the stuff. Well, I mean, it's so important to me to have him very, 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 very cared for. So he's actually going to stay with friends. I'm super lucky to have some friends who love him very much, and so. It's good because when I went away once, I went to Greece for a couple of weeks a few years back. And when I came back, he had just been staying with people that he didn't know for a couple of weeks. And he was so heartbroken / pissed.
Pissed at you?
Yeah, like hurt and angry.
Your dog was mad at you.
Oh my God.
I can't even fucking imagine.
Yeah, for like a week. It was crazy. It was a crazy feeling. I was like, I betrayed you and your dog trust. I am so sorry that I left you for 2 weeks with strangers and you thought I was never coming back. He was totally fucking brokenhearted. Meanwhile, Bobo, totally fine. Don't give a fuck because he's a cat.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't imagine looking in a dog's eyes and having it like be mad at me.
Hurt, which is worse.
Hurt.
Yeah, hurt
right.
is worse.
Yeah.
Hurt's worse than anger.
Damn, man.
You know, it's like he was disappointed in me. And
like
I'm
your
like, oh
dog needs some fucking hemp, man.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, I've given him a ton of CBD treats. They don't seem to do much for him, but I'm always willing to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our study. Give us money to give Mary Jane
to calm dogs down when their owners.
Down.
I mean, that's, you know, there are so many great companies. There's actually a wonderful shout out Vet CBD, which is a veterinarian fund. Sorry, that was hard to say for some reason. It was a veterinarian funded business. Dr. Tim Shu, I believe is his name, looked into CBD for exactly that, but like weed sourced CBD. So it's for sale in dispensaries in California for pets who suffer anxiety.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Not going to lie, there is a glow around you right now that is so awesome.
Oh. Because I love my dog so much.
Maybe that's what happened. I mean, I know I'm on shrooms right now, but like there is a straight up glow around you as you talked about your dog. That
amazing.
Is so rad.
Mm-hmm.
So rad. Wow. All right. That shit's real, man.
Let's do buds of the week.
All right.
I'm going to go first. My bud of the week is, oh wait, I've lost it. Who was, oh yes. Awesome. My bud of the week. I'm so stoked. Ashley Belzo, who is the founder of this very cool thing that's happening, community built, community owned weed cooperative basically called Puff DAO. And Ashley is at Ashley with 2 E's, Belzo, Belzo on Insta. Great follow. Cool ass person, wicked style, at the forefront of cutting edge technology in weed and building a community, a new community, like a community for the next generation.
And DAO is spelled DAO?
DAO, Puff DAO, which I learned, I thought it was like some sort of like Zen thing, but it's decentralized autonomous organization, whatever DAO stands for in like crypto
awesome.
And stuff. It's so Puff DAO is like that version, but for weed.
Oh, so it like she's setting up the foundation for the future.
Yeah.
Like she's living in our future. And,
Next gen.
And yeah, welcome to her party.
I don't understand how it works. She's very cool.
She is fucking cool.
She scares me a little because she's, beyond what I can comprehend. That scares me. I'm scared of the youth. Who's your butt of the week?
My butt of the week this week is Cass Smiley. Both of us are friends with Cass. Shout out to Cass. So their Instagram is @CassSmiley, KassSmiley. Butt of the week this week because finally, after pandemics and everything going to shit, this year just threw an amazing festival in Alaska, the Before You Die Fest. It was the first fest we did together.
That's right.
It was our first time traveling out of the 48 states together.
The lower 48.
Together. Uh-huh. And I mean, like, not only is it one of the best festivals I've ever been a part of, but Cass kind of is single-handedly making it all happen in Alaska.
Yeah.
And so to pull it off after all of those false starts because of the pandemic, and everything I've seen online is a massive success. So congrats to you, Cass. And if anyone out there is listening and wants to go to an amazing festival, Before You Die is it.
That's where we met Ali Lou and Baldev. That's where some of our biggest friendships formed that continue to this day. And I got to say, Cass brought us to Alaska and gave us housing. And it was a truly incredible experience to be, as someone who's toured fringe festivals and stuff and just been scrappy as fuck for a long time. I felt very taken care of and appreciated in a really cool way by a festival that had, there was no reason to do that for me. I was nobody.
They took us to that wildlife preserve and we met a porcupine named Snickers.
And a moose.
And a fucking moose. And there was a bear in a tree just chilling. Where else are you going to see that?
Best time.
Come on. Yeah. If you haven't been to Alaska, there's bald eagles landing on gas stations. It's its own world and it rocks.
That's a huge part of why there are power outages constantly, because bald eagles just fly into transformers.
Oh,
and
do they really?
Short circuit the neighborhood.
And then they fly off. I'm sure that majority of them are fine.
They're totally fine. The eagle wasn't fine.
You can't stop freedom. Or whatever.
Well, should we get to our very important Baker Bud?
Yeah, we should. Lindsay Adams, she rocks.
Lindsay is the fucking coolest. I mean, we got treats, we got snacks, we got so much. It was so much hanging.
What I love about it too is that we knew each other in Chicago,
mm-hmm.
and you just kind of find your own people everywhere you live. But the comedy community and the food community, those circles are smaller and smaller the more you get. So it was always being able to stay in touch with her and now being able to catch up with her in person after so many years of not being able to be in person. This was a really great hang. And also follow Lindsay everywhere. See her comedy if she's coming to your city or town or villa, block.
Yep.
If she's on your block, say hi.
If she's coming to your yurt, just, say hello. Poke your head out. Welcome to our commune.
Check the show description. She's doing a yurt tour. Coming up in mid-September.
I would watch some yurt comedy. That sounds fun.
Yeah. All right. There you go. You're still glowing. All right.
Thank you. I'm very high.
Lindsay, you rock. Thank you all for listening. And without further ado, here's our interview with
Lindsay Adams.
Lindsay, what's up?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
I know we've already been chatting 20 minutes, but let's
chatting a bit.
Create the illusion that it's just starting.
It is just starting. I just sat down. I just got settled. We've got just so much going on that I'm really a big fan of.
Feel free to eat while we hang. That's the point. Is it's snacking and chatting.
Yep. Great. I can't wait to eat broccoli and then have it in my teeth.
Yes.
That's my favorite part.
That's our goal, is to have that happen.
Okay, great. Please don't tell me if that happens. I would prefer if it just
We're coming for Mr. Beast, but the only way we can do it isn't through talent, but through food and teeth and things like that, so that people will watch our YouTube.
I love it. Everyone should watch. This is a great YouTube.
I mean, we're pretty proud of our
genuinely.
Spread.
It makes a lot of sense. It makes more sense than half of the other YouTube channels that are huge, of just a dude being like, "What's up, guys? All right, hit that smash that like button."
You haven't heard my intro yet.
Oh fuck.
Oh yeah, I'm I turn a visor backwards and I put on my pukas.
It's gonna work.
It's gonna be awesome.
I mean, that's what works. That's where it's. Go ahead and smash that like button.
I just saw a still of a podcast that a friend of mine was on, and he's a white dude, and all 3 podcast hosts are also white dudes. So it's a picture of 4 white men all looking like slightly like goofy and quizzical. And I was like, who? What?
Open mouth.
Millions of people will like love that. You know what I realized though too? It's like, to be fair, so like podcasts have, I think, like only opened up to a more diverse audience and I say more recent, I'm talking like a decade, but like, so there's more white men that are like, you know what I want to hear? A dude like me. Like, you know what?
That's so true.
Hey, this guy sounds relatable. He's like kind of fat and like they're like, he's kind of weird. He's like not super hot.
He doesn't know much, but he says it with confidence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to scroll through someone else's podcast feed? Like when we went on a road trip for the first
No.
time, Mike was like going through my stuff and he was like, oh, wow, we do not listen to the same stuff
That's
at all. And then to
so
like,
funny.
and it's really interesting. It's very particular. It's such a specific,
Interesting.
you know, like, do you want to hear yourself reflected in a podcast or do you want to hear shit you don't know about?
Exactly. What do you go for?
I go for friends who are being funny
Okay.
and stuff that I don't know about.
Okay, love that. Love that.
Yeah, I don't want to listen to, you know, like I don't listen to weed podcasts, for instance. I write about cannabis.
Totally.
So I'm like, I'm not looking for stuff to reinforce my already very firm worldview.
I love that. And Mike, what is your podcast?
I try to listen to like wholesome, funny, light stuff because
Oh.
I don't always feel that way. So I'm looking for something that'll like inject me with that. The balance of that though
Yeah.
is I also will listen to things that I disagree with so hard that because I'm like,
Whoa.
I need to know why these, like I listen to Ben Shapiro because I'm like, why does this dude have traction and who is he
Oh.
speaking to? And then I'll listen to it and I'll be like, you know what? I can it's not that I get it, but I
Yeah.
understand where it wiggles
Sure.
in, you know? So
Where do you normally listen to your podcasts? In the car?
oh boy.
All the time. Back
Wait,
pocket
whose show
AirPods.
is this?
This is Lindsay's
Sorry,
show.
sorry.
Fuck,
I'm
Lindsay.
so
This is
sorry.
Lindsay.
All I'm saying is like
Default host.
listening to an
Doesn't like to
opposing
share, but likes to deflect.
listening to an opposing view to me sounds like it would inspire road rage. And so if
Understood.
I'm like in the car, I love stuff I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I like love it.
Do you have topics?
I love crime.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like very basic in that. Like I love and the thing is like it's frustrating when you have your own podcast or you know people that have podcasts and you listen to one, you want to critique it.
Yeah.
And be like, can you just stop whatever you're doing here and go back to like the good stuff?
Mhm. We'll send you the edit of this. And
Please.
you can send back notes.
Please. I love history podcasts too, but I hate most of the hosts. Like most of the hosts are like, remember that one time when we talked about, and I'm like, shut up and tell me about the history of salt. Like,
Do you like those podcasts to be funny or informative? Like, how does it stick in your ears best?
I don't need them to be funny.
Cool.
I just don't care. Like, I want them to be informative. I don't really need their opinion. And that's why I give my opinion. So I assume that people want to hear opinion. But when I go for like a hard fact podcast,
Yeah.
I don't need you to be someone.
I really learned that fairly recently in writing, like to take myself out of the story, to not necessarily have a point of view when writing. And it's a totally different way of approaching things. And I've watched you, Mike, kind of insert yourself more and more into your comedy and get more personal,
Yeah.
which has been really interesting. What is your, like, how do you approach your?
I insert myself completely.
You do.
I can't, like, I am unable.
Non-able.
I am not able to remove my personality from most parts of whatever I do. And so I've gone the direction that Mike's gone and just leaned in completely.
And that's what everyone wants, I think, in 2022 at least, right?
Kind of. I mean, you know what's funny is like, I bake a lot and I don't need your fucking blog. Like, I really don't. I want none of it. I don't need like, I don't want to know what your son thought of it. You know?
I don't even want to know you have a son.
I know. Like, I didn't ask all this. Tell me, like, give me the details. So I don't like to consume what I put out.
Right.
But I hope that, I mean, I assume there's an audience, right?
Yeah. Do you like any of the cooking videos? Are you like Mike? Do you watch cooking YouTube?
I do sometimes. It depends. I get impatient.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll do cake decorating. So if I'm decorating a cake and I'm doing something I've never done before, I definitely will sit and watch technique.
Mm-hmm.
How's your piping skills?
It's gotten better and better over the years, but
your Instagram's sexy as fuck.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I try to cater it to what I'm good at though. Like I can't do flowers. And that's not like my.
Yeah, but also go to the grocery store if you want that shit. Like we're talking bigger, better, smarter, cooler.
I've gotten I like fondant. I don't mind the taste, but I like fondant. I prefer putting things on cakes that are like fully edible.
Mm-hmm.
So I like.
And you're not supposed to eat fondant?
You can. I mean, I've eaten it, but like
it's kind of like concrete though, right? Like it's.
You know what it is? It's like a hard marshmallow.
Oh.
And it's like a little plasticky. I've talked about this on my podcast a lot. I kind of like eating plastic. So I think I have like a mild case of pica.
Oh, wow.
Or pica. I think it's pica, where like I'll just chew on stuff. I like candy that tastes a little plasticky.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. Like my favorite part of the those like juice things where it's like made in wax. It's like shaped like a soda bottle.
Yeah.
And you drink the juice and then I eat all the wax.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Mark just said it's the beef jerky of frosting.
That is a great way to put it. It is the beef jerky of frosting. And I like beef jerky that is like a chew toy.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Like the kind you get at the gas stations on the road where they like have the tongs.
Yeah.
Why?
It's a consistency thing.
It's like you have to like suck on it for a minute and then you're like, then it's like you're a dog. I love eating like a dog. I love dog texture.
I'm looking at your Instagram right now and there's a picture of this cake that you made for Wilder's birthday.
Yeah.
That is so incredible. It's got a windmill and little trees and a river and a train station and a bridge.
I know. It was a train themed party. He's the cutest in the world. It went against everything in my body to put physical toys on it, but for a kid's cake, they don't fucking care if you can eat it or not. They're like, I want to play with this.
They're going to put it in their mouth no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, well, I want to make it edible. And then I was like, who fucking cares? He just wants a toy. So, but yeah, it was fun.
How did you start baking professionally?
I started baking originally as a stress reliever and as a way to focus my attention on something that wasn't like obsessive around comedy and creativity, and it felt very straightforward, and there was like a beginning, middle, and end. You could accomplish something in a specific period of time.
And there's rules, which
There's
I
rules.
love. I
Oh,
need
yeah.
structure, right?
I need base rules. Like,
Yeah.
and because also the stakes are so low when you break the rules. Like if you fuck around and you're like, I don't fucking feel like putting eggs in these. What is that going to look like?
Uh-huh.
And then they're like shitty. You're like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Still gonna eat the dough.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
whatever.
Like who gives a shit?
Yeah. In fact,
So-
it's more like dog treats now, and that's fucking
Exactly.
someone might want that.
So you just can, and you can discover stuff. And it also is like something I never thought about selling it. I always just gave it to people because it makes people happy. And it's an unrelated happiness to any of the things that are involved in my other day-to-day aspects of my life.
Yeah.
So it's like nobody's getting happy because you're giving them money. Nobody's getting happy because you're giving them success. Nobody's getting happy because you're giving them even hope.
Right.
Yeah.
Literal hope in like life or humanity. They're just like, fuck, this tastes good.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
fucking cool. I feel like the most reasonable people in the world are the people who feed other people because they want them to feel good. Like you are one of the most reasonable people.
I mean, that's an honor. No, and I agree, like the people that are like cooks in their heart
Yeah.
that like to feed people. Like the kind of chef where it's like you go to their restaurant. A while ago, my husband's brother worked with Roy Choi, and
Friend of the pod, Roy Choi. Shout out to Nick, your husband.
yes, he and like Roy, we went to Pot, and like when it was open or whatever, and he just like welcomed us in. We sat at a table, and he was like, "Just let me feed you." And he just brought a bunch of food. He was like cutting the short like it was just like such a beautiful what food is supposed to be.
Yes.
And I was like, that I like to recreate all the time.
Yeah.
That's like this vibe.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
That's exactly what this vibe is.
That's awesome. Like, yeah, because obviously we want to impress you, but it's really like we just want to feed everyone and feel good. You know?
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah.
Do you hate the reality show Is It Cake?
I do. I do. I haven't given it like a fair shot. I hate
What do
most.
you, I mean,
Yeah.
do you get it?
Yeah.
Then you give it a shot.
I don't, because I care about how things taste. That's why I like even like the cheesiest, hokiest like baking championship shows. I like that the judges have to sit there and eat it. And it's always like, there's always like one underdog who like cannot get their decorating together.
Mm-hmm.
And
There was a person on, I don't know what season of Great British, whatever it's called.
yeah, Great
And
British Bake Off.
she was so messy and sloppy. I will never forget. It's burned into my brain.
Oh,
'cause
yeah, you were mad.
I was furious because like her station was a mess, and there's like she lifted up a plastic fucking cutting board and melted chocolate just dripped off of it onto the counter, onto the floor, and she's like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Axe her! You can't be here!" And she like got to the finals, and I was furious about
That's so funny. Well, we've cooked in the same kitchen. I mean, you're very regimented. Like
Yes.
you're really good at being focused.
Can I tell a really quick anecdote about that?
Please
We
tell.
were shooting an Instagram reel a while back, and we needed just a piece of food, just for a reel, just for our IG, and we didn't have anything. And Mike had enough to make a grilled cheese sandwich, and I was like, "I'll just make a grilled cheese real quick." And he was like, "Are you good at making grilled cheese?" And I was like, "Well, can people be bad at making grilled cheese?" I was like, "I'm fucking fine." So I made a grilled cheese. It totally looked crappy,
Mhm.
and I just looked over at Mike, and you were so like the look you had on your face was like I had shit in your bed. Like
I believe it.
he was so mad that this grilled cheese just wasn't up to par, and I was like, "What's happening right now?" And you were like really straight with me.
Furious,
Yeah, you were like, "I'm fucking angry because your grilled cheese is stupid." So yeah, see, it's very.
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously made up and got through it, and then
Right.
I think we threw the grilled cheese in the trash, and we did something else though.
Yeah,
What
we
else
took
can you do?
popcorn and
Yeah,
we
we used popcorn.
shaved weed over it with a microplane.
Great. And how'd that work out?
Fine.
It was great. Once we got through,
Once we worked through my bad grilled cheese, which actually I think I ate, I wouldn't have thrown it out. But anyway,
See,
That's my story.
I'm a hot sloppy mess. Like
Mhm.
I will. That would have been me for sure. But I totally, Mike. Anytime I've seen you cook, you're very like focused and good. I mean, that's why you're good.
like line cook, I think I would never actually want to move away from line cook. Like
Interesting.
because I love you get in that flow state and it's all controlled in
Just
your
gonna get
station.
popcorn on me, by the way.
And just the idea that like it's all right here and leave me
Yeah.
alone. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's so interesting.
Like when you are baking at your home,
yeah.
I picture like Mrs. Bean, where there's like you're like coughing up flour and there's like
Yeah.
eggshells and you're like
Yep.
scooping it out with your finger
Yep.
and you're tasting every piece of batter,
Yep.
licking it off.
Is there
Who
behind the
gives a fuck?
scenes of you baking content that we can watch?
There's I put YouTube videos up for a while during the pandemic, and a lot of it is like that sort of behavior. And like at the live show that I do, I bake live, and so I'm often like I'm sorry, I licked the spatula again. You know, like
I've seen some of them, and like sometimes your guest is like, "Whoa," and sometimes your guest is like, "Oh hell yeah, okay, I'm here for this. Like we can do this."
Oh, yeah. I used to do a live Twitch show, like a live Twitch stream, and sometimes chefs would come into the chat, and it would drive them fucking nuts. Like they would lose their mind. And sometimes they would like help because I would mess up and I would be like, well, I don't know what to do with this. And they'd be like, try this. And I'm like, no.
Fuck your cream of tartar idea.
Yeah, but they were like, I mean, Danny Palumbo is another person who cooks, and like he just was like, I don't understand what you're doing. Like, I don't, what is, because he makes these like beautiful little pastas. And I'm just like, fuck this. I don't give a fuck. I just gotta finish. I just like to, sometimes I get mad and I say, we just have to finish this. But I have thrown out something like pastry cream 4 times.
Oh yeah. Why? Because it like broke or just wasn't up to your standard.
It wasn't good enough. It like didn't meet. There's certain things where I'm just like, nope, you don't do that. You don't have a lumpy pastry cream. You don't, just certain
It's like
base
a hack
rules.
joke, right?
Yeah.
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 Uh,
Totally.
Oh, just like,
you've never told a hack joke?
Well, I'm saying it's like unacceptable.
Oh, hack joke. You think, really?
hack jokes are unacceptable.
Well, I'm just like trying to
Do you
draw
mean,
a
like-
parallel to like learn, because I've seen Lindsay's comedy for so long in
Yeah.
Chicago, and then to like lean really heavy into baking, which I didn't know about you until
Thanks.
here in LA. But like I'm seeing parallels between your comedy and your
Oh,
baking
interesting.
that are like really interesting.
really?
Yeah.
No way.
Look how you sat up, and you're like, "Oh, say more how great I am."
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't I? I mean, I'm always looking. I can never draw the correct parallels between. I don't even talk about baking on stage.
You don't, which is interesting.
Yeah, because I don't really know what to say, because I haven't really like figured out.
What's funny about it? I don't know, truly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
What's funny about something you love with like a genuine passion? It's
Yeah.
nothing really.
You don't want to skewer it. It's pure.
Yeah, I don't joke about my cat
Mm-hmm.
because I would kill for her. My mom and my sister, forget it. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Bits for days.
Yeah. No, but yeah,
I feel that.
It's interesting.
It's weird to hear you talk about baking in terms of loving it, because I think one of the things that has made me very nervous to lean into cooking as much as I would like to
Mhm.
is to have it transition from pure fucking pleasure to do to something where I'm being like really hard on myself, where I'm trying to make money for it.
Yeah.
Or like it becomes the pleasure shifts into work, and I'm
Mhm.
like, at the end of the day, I'm just scared to lean into cooking the way I want to. But some of it is that apprehension of like, oh, I don't want this to become work and for me to lose that love.
Yeah. Well, you can try it too. That's the other thing. You can see if it feels like work.
Yeah.
And on that note, I was just hanging out with a friend the other day. He blew my mind when he told me that the word amateur actually means someone who loves something. And it's become a
Ah.
pejorative, like someone who's not good at shit.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is. An amateur is someone who loves something and they do it for pleasure.
I
So if you're an
love that.
amateur cook, it's not that you're bad, it's that you love it.
Fuck.
Isn't that neat?
That's
That's
neat.
so interesting.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was like, I'm
twist.
never going to use the word amateur as a pejorative, like, yeah, fucking amateur, ever again. It just,
Yeah.
even an amateur comic. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't call someone an amateur comic to their face unless you wanted to be
Mhm.
you know,
Amateur sex.
punched.
Slap.
Amateur sex, totally.
Amateur
just means you
everything.
love it, man.
That actually makes sense now.
Mhm.
Why it's such a popular genre. Because these people just love
They
it.
just love it, and they're never going to get better at it, man.
Yeah,
They don't want to.
They don't care.
They don't care
It's-
enough.
You know, it's fine.
They're just
No, I was
doing it.
worried about the professional, like the making it work thing, and I tested it out. I did some larger events, and I didn't like it.
like what size events?
Like I did like a baby shower, which I was happy to do for my friend, and I loved the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I'm not a caterer.
Yeah.
I was like, that part of it's not fun for me because I'm over here stressed out. Is this going to be good? Like, I already know the pastry crust on this is not perfect. People are going to pick up on that. I don't like how many imperfections you have to like, you really have to like let go in order to execute something on a large scale.
Wow.
I really like just making like one thing or a couple things that are like really fun.
Yeah, the centerpiece.
Yeah.
I did my friend, our friend Ben's baby shower. I did all the just fucking crudité tape basically because I panicked.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of stress. I was like, holy smokes, having 20 people all expect you to like make their mouths happy. What the hell?
And when you're getting paid for it, the added pressure is just like,
and then they treat you differently.
Yeah. And I like giving stuff away. I mean, like I love that people want to pay for your work, but I do like giving stuff away.
Well, I wanted to transition because
Okay.
I was on your podcast and you're snacking on popcorn, and I think we talked for an hour and a half about popcorn
I know.
on your podcast. It got real.
So good.
And I polished off a bag last night. Shout out to Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I polished off a bag of their kernels last night.
Nice.
Doing my thing where I just eat an entire bowl while watching Severance.
Your method.
Very method. But I know that you brought some of the things we talked about on your podcast.
Absolutely. So for me, I'm like, I was bragging and I should be sponsored by AMC, but I'm an AMC A-list member.
Hell yeah.
So I don't want to brag, but I go to the movies and you get every, like, you can earn like a free large popcorn. So I get a giant ass tub of popcorn. I put a shit ton of butter on it.
Do you know about the butter trick?
Which one?
To get butter from the bottom of the bucket up?
The straw?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
But you know what? I like to get a box in addition. So I dump half of it into the box. I pull out my pocket seasonings. I bring out seasonings for, like, in my purse. And I've got kettle corn and ranch. And then I dump it. And I have 2 different kinds of popcorn. Sometimes I get a third box and I just leave a little plain.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I get like super
brilliant.
lit. I do this at home too. I'll do like a microwave popcorn and then I'm just like, fuck it.
Wait, what are these seasonings? I've never seen this.
I don't know. I mean, first of all, bad branding. It looks fake, but
Yeah, I don't like how it looks like an egg.
it's not. No,
It
and
looks
it
like a
shouldn't.
Kinder Surprise.
It's not. But it's essentially, it's just like, I mean, it's ranch seasoning. So I think it's like buttermilky. Yeah. Buttermilk, spices. And then this is just, the kettle corn is just essentially like super, super, super fine brown sugar with salt.
Ooh, I love brown sugar.
Yeah. You
I'll
gotta
eat that stuff. plain.
wait, here.
Oh, these are pure. These are virginal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
These were gifts.
That reminds me of one of my favorite snacks, which is so weird. And it was something that my mom used to make me when I was a kid, which is cold green grapes dipped in sour cream and then dipped in a little brown sugar. Have you ever heard of that?
No,
It's
that's
such
amazing.
a cool combo. And I bet it would be like similarly, you could do it with the seasoning.
So
It's like brown sugar and salt. That'd be such a good
if
combo.
I sat next to you in a movie theater, at first I would be like, "Who is this maniac?" And
Yeah.
then I would immediately go get all my own trays and be like, "Yo, let me get some of that
Yeah,
seasoning."
you gotta try it. You gotta try it.
Popcorn goddess.
And then
Truly.
here's the ranch for when you want it.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Okay,
Thank you.
so
Highly
trying the kettle
recommended.
corn. That's so fucking good.
Adds a little something, something.
Holy cow!
Oh my God.
Right?
That's amazing.
Right.
That's a
Right.
life changer.
Wow.
That is a game changer coming fresh out of like the pop. Like it's popped. It's got a little like it's got the butter on it.
It also, I have the remnants in my hand and it looks like I have a
Cocaine.
handful of cocaine.
It is a handful of cocaine. What if it was actually just cocaine? And I was like, guys, it's not. It's sugar.
Put cocaine on your popcorn. Yeah?
Ranch rocks.
Hell yeah.
The ranch is so good, and
Holy cow!
I put it on everything. I'm like a full trash bag.
I'm just gonna
I would do that too.
Yeah, I literally buy it,
Mm.
and then I just put it on everything.
Real talk. I think both of us have tried to transition our bodies and things from Chicago
Yeah.
to LA.
Yeah, for sure.
We both. I don't know. Like I feel a lot better in the skin I'm in right now.
Yeah,
How about you?
I do absolutely. I feel a lot better. I feel definitely like, and I'm so much more physically like active. And
What'd you do? What was your trick besides being sober?
I mean, I don't really know. Like a lot of it was like honestly internal. Like I've like body acceptance type stuff.
Yeah.
Because I hated my body, and I still am like working on it. But like I hated my body for so many years and was just like grew up like hating everything about it. And I like was obsessed with being too fat. And like then I just got to a place where I was like, this might just be what you look like. What if that was the truth?
Yo.
And it
That's awesome.
And I was like, well, what if you just accept that and just eat stuff that feels good? And then I did, and it's like I was like, I like salad when it's not a punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Like,
that's the difference.
I fucking like vegetables. I love cinnamon buns, but I don't love that I have to take a nap after. Like, so like if I have shit to do, I gotta like I'll go with a croissant over a cinnamon bun because like I'm not trying to live in that. And I get obsessed with, I get so excited about like yoga and like muscles. And I'm like, look at what my body can do. It's crazy.
Oh, you yoga?
I'm a yogi. I'm a full yogi.
I always feel so much fucking better when I treat food as fuel and my body as something that is strong and, you know, wants to move around.
Right.
It's fucking, and I'm not there right now. And it's interesting because it's been, you know, obviously the most fucked up time. And,
yeah.
You know, I was saying something to my friend recently who is a ballet dancer and she's just, my friend Natalie, and she's just in incredible shape. And I was being down on myself in front of her and physically. And I was like, I just don't feel good. And, you know, and she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, if you don't accept where you are right now, then you're not going to be able to let go of it.
Yeah.
You know? It's really interesting to do that brain shift that you did.
Yeah. It's crazy. And it goes back and forth. And it was like this year, I got into like intuitive eating.
What's
and
that?
Intuitive eating and like
that doesn't mean eat whatever you want whenever you want.
No, but it's interesting because it's like this whole psychology. I mean, it kind of is, but it's this whole psychology of breaking down diet culture and like being and like the mentality and like the realities that deprivation of food like feeds binging, which makes you feel bad, and then food is assigned a morality, like. You know what I mean? Like you could look at this table and be like, good, bad, bad. And it's like food has no moral value. It's like that idea.
Whoa.
You get to enjoy it. You get to eat whatever you want and listen to like how your body feels about it. Like what would that look like? Also like approaching it from, this is like blown my mind and I like barely know what I'm talking about. But like, so like the beginning of this year, I was like, okay, my commitment is to not, whatever I eat, however I eat, my goal cannot be to shrink my body. It has to be like, it cannot be to shrink myself. So
is
like
that a space thing for you?
I think it's like, you know, it's just the fact that there's always, anytime I'm working towards a goal, my goal has always been to be smaller.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yep.
And it's always been to be smaller. Smaller is better, more like more muscles, more in shape. Like smaller is better, smaller is better. And it's like, what if my goal was not to be smaller, was just to be what it looks like to enjoy myself and feel the best?
Yeah.
Do you want to host this?
No, it's
Please.
Simple but not easy, right? Like
no, it's like revolutionary. It drives me nuts on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. And there's all these like books and podcasts. I mean, that's what I mean. There's like, I listen to like podcasts about it. And like, if she tried to be funny, I listen to Food Psych.
Mm-hmm.
And if she tried to be funny, I would be like, turn it off. Just shut up. I don't want your weird jokes.
Yeah.
Just like give me information.
Be science.
Yeah, like give me science stuff. I need to know. It's like, and this joke. I'm like, nope, I don't want to hear your weird little what you think is funny. Heal me,
awesome.
So
bitch.
you're saying
Heal
you don't listen to Weed and Grub then? Because we have to. I mean, part of the reason we started this podcast when we were having a conversation about like what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
So we knew we wanted to make something together. Was that all weed content or a lot of cannabis content is just really dry and really boring and really sort of like hit you over the head with policy and what's wrong with everything. And we were like, we need to.
Sativas aren't sativas.
Yeah. Or, you know, like obviously paying attention to the important issues, but it's only done in a very serious way. And we were like, we want to start this podcast where we can like have a great time, and hopefully people will listen, and we can say some stuff that people need to know about.
Yeah.
But we got to make the jokes.
Well, and that's to me why it's so good. I mean, I think that like I consume the opposite of what I do or hope to offer to people, because I try to do the same thing with my snack podcast. All the food stuff that people do is like very like let's analyze, or it's like dudes being like, you know, like I ate a fucking cheeseburger, bro, and you're like, great, you know.
Cool,
so
yeah.
I like to cover like a larger spectrum, but it's like I'm a comedian and I want to be like, you know, it's like I want to be on a TV show that's funny, but like all I watch is CW dramas. You know,
Yes.
like legit all I watch is like drama, like stuff I would never offer up because it's just not who I am. So I don't fucking know what that means.
That's awesome.
I feel you on that.
Part of the reason for this one that we aren't getting high is because how long have you been sober now?
I've been sober for like over 15 years. I got sober when I was a teenager.
Were you really? Wait,
Yeah.
what? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
I got sober when I was a teenager.
With help?
Yeah. I went to rehab. I was in outpatient rehab. I was like a full monster. And I liked everything. Like, I love weed culture because people care about, like, they care about it in a different way. I was just like, I wasn't even getting good weed, but I was just like drinking Robitussin, and like, I literally didn't care the form that a high came in. I was just like, fuck me up.
Fuck yeah. Let's bury some shit.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm sad. Why don't you guys like it when I black out? Like, why do you love it? So yeah, but that's why like I think weed culture is so cool, and I'm like, so I wish that it was like, I'm into like the whole everything
People
should be
deeply
legal.
love weed. I love weed. I deeply love weed.
And I love that. Like that is like a different kind. You don't love weed in the same way that the people that like in high school I was buying weed from loved weed.
Possibly.
Right.
Yeah, I
like,
feel that.
They weren't like, okay, this kind is like, you know, whatever. I was like, just shut up. And they were like, it's mostly stems. And I'm like, I literally don't care, bro.
We talk about the cannabis community on here a lot. And one of the ways that it's changing because of legalization, and it's moved from being a cannabis community to a cannabis industry. And that's breaking a lot of those bonds, because all of a sudden, like you were saying about your baking, once you start doing it for money, it changes shit. And so, you know, it's just like, keep it like, I think home grow, and like keeping it, you know, out of the corporate hands are the ways to keep that community going. And,
or like
you know,
have a bake sale and
have a fucking bake
right?
sale and
like,
give your shit
for
away.
real.
Yeah. Well, it's like anytime there's passion behind something. I mean, unfortunately, the people, I always say, if like I meet someone who's like a business owner who's like a good person, I'm like, your business is gonna fail.
I feel that.
Oh,
I feel
no,
that so
really?
hard.
Because I just feel like that's how it works. Like somebody who's shitty has to take it over, or you are not gonna make money from this.
Mm-hmm.
And like that shouldn't be a hard and fast rule, but it's like, who are the people that fought for legalization of weed? People who gave a shit, like people who you know what I mean? Like, it's like my favorite yoga studios are the ones that constantly go out of business because they don't know how to manage their money.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know what they're doing. They just want people to do yoga.
But a place like Bikram is, you know, beloved by millions, and that guy fucking sucks, right?
Yeah, he's like a bad person, but he's like very, like, he was like money, and he's fucking did it. But like, yeah, my favorite yoga studio, when look, if there's a yoga studio that has a GoFundMe to bail them out of debt, that is the one I want to join. That's how you know it's good.
Hell yeah.
You have one more topic you
I
wanted
did.
to get to?
What is it?
I just found your TikTok 2 fucking days ago. I found it 2 days ago.
Shout out the
Lindsay,
name of it.
And what the fuck?
I know.
What's the handle so we can all follow right
it's
now?
Lindsay Adams is popular.
All right.
Let's get into it
What's happening on TikTok?
because it is pretty fucking spectacular.
I mean, it's cat content. It's all cat. content, I had a video of me clipping my cat's nails blow up. Like over 20 million views at this point. It's literally licensed through Viral Hog. Like,
you're fucking famous on TikTok.
I mean, it got me like, I have like 77,000 followers that are like not because I put out solid content. It's like because people are like rabid for my cat.
How does that feel? We love your cat.
It's really mortifying. I mean, it's like not, I mean, I love my cat too, but like, I feel the need to be like, you guys, I've been doing like comedy for like a decade. I'm like, so, and then they're like, hey, there was one thing I posted a clip from my podcast, which I feel guilty doing. And like, I just posted a stand-up clip, and like immediately if I post stand-up, it's like, you're not funny, you're not funny. Men hate my voice, which like fully understand, but it is what it is. But like, if I post anything else, people in the comments will be like, hey girl, what's your cat up to? And I'm just like, I don't know, dude. She's 16. She's like fucking sleeping. She's old. When she dies, my career's over. Like, that's what sucks. I can't get it to translate. I feel like I have to bring her on stage to like.
You're going to have to stuff her and keep it going.
It's insane. It's insane.
I don't know if I've ever seen anyone perform comedy with a cat, though. I mean,
I know. If she wasn't so old, I would try it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I just make cat content, but it feels so hack. Speaking of hack, that's like what gets views.
I watched a lot of it. I fell in.
Did you?
Hard. Yeah, well, because the one that we're talking about where you clip your cat's nails, like you two have a communication between each other.
No, that's
it's
true.
really cool to see.
Thank you.
I don't want to ruin the punchline of that.
We'll
video.
drop a link to that particular TikTok in the show notes so everyone can watch.
But it's pretty like, what? And then as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm in fucking
That's
full bore.
so funny.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I hope the rest of my content lives up to it. It's just like when my cat like meows, it's just she's super vocal. She's just super vocal, and she's like really like the older she gets because she's like a grandma.
Yeah.
So like she just like will come in and rail on me for no reason. Like
she just yells at you, right?
Yeah, she just like comes in and it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know where I am. Like she's just like a mean old lady, but she's like, she doesn't bite or scratch or anything. She's just like, where the fuck am I? Every now and then.
Oh man, I feel like Bobo would relate. That's my old cat. Yes, I think he also is confused
all the time.
How
old?
19.
Oh, good. Yeah, I love that.
He's like an old goblin.
I know. They just like I feel like they don't know. They're just like, I don't know. They like just decide that they have different habits.
Mm-hmm.
And
does your cat move sleeping areas, pooping like is there regimen still, or is it all?
She's so regimented.
Cool.
It's like more regimented than ever.
Like, feed me, sun is up, let's go.
Yeah, like, but the thing is, it's so funny. She can't even eat wet food because, I mean, this is like really strictly for cat people. I'm like,
we're gonna cut everything else.
There's
great
cat podcasts.
She like it upsets her stomach, so she can't have, for whatever reason, she can't have wet food often, and she acts as if she gets it every morning. So she like sleeps in the morning, she's like on my chest, and I'm like, I don't know what you think you're getting. Your food has been out all night. Like, she has food all throughout the day, and she's just like, I guess this is what cats do. Like, we just do this, and that's what we do.
Oh, man. Well, to wrap up, I don't really care about your plugs, but if you can just, like, plug your cat a couple more times.
Yeah, her name's Sugar Bear. She's 16. You can see her on my TikTok and my Instagram Reels. Some of my stand-up might slip in there. Some of my baking might. So I just want to warn you.
Uh-huh.
Like the things you're really good at and that you do yourself.
The things that I've worked really hard for, they slip in there, but it's mostly cat content. So,
and you're at Lindsay Adams is popular everywhere.
At Lindsay Adams is popular except for Twitter, where it's at Lindsay's face. Yeah, well, I don't know. Lindsay Adams is taken all over the place. I had to get creative.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
This has been fucking awesome.
This has been so fun.
Thank you so much. This is, the spread, the seasonings, the hang.
Love it.
What a delight. I'm so glad to meet you two.
Oh
I've
my
just been hearing
God.
about you for ages.
I
and
know,
listening to your
same.
pod. So.
It's very, very nice. Yeah, you guys are great. I love this.
Awesome.
Let's hug.
Yeah.
Okay. Follow us at Weed and Grub on Instagram. Give Lindsay and our podcast 5 stars. Leave a review. Bump it up in the algorithm. It goes such a long way.
Really does help.
Yeah.
That's
and
amazing.
email us wg@weedandgrub.com.
Yep.
Anything else?
Just check us out in all the places and be kind. I think that's it.
That's it.
All right.
Love it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.